am somebody. I am somebody. Red and yellow. Brown, black, and white. We're all precious in God's sight. Everybody is somebody. Stop the violence. Save the children. I can learn. I will learn. I must learn. My mind is a pearl. I can learn anything in the world. Stop the violence. Save the children. I can vote. I will vote. I can vote. I will vote. Hands who once picked cotton will not pick a president. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Let me hear you scream, Majority. Thanks to this pastor for hosting us today. Let's never take Dr. Porter's generosity for granted. While our struggles faced in the churches that close doors to us, the doors open, we must express our thanks. I don't appreciate it having Ralph Campbell producing you. That's not fair. I wish that all the ministers present, ministers, please stand. Elected appointed officials, elected appointed, please stand. Elected appointed officials, please stand. All right. You want to be elected to something, you stand. Mr. Moderator, distinguished pastors who are present today, it is good to be home. I'm not a stranger in South Carolina. I am at home. I did not charge the collection to come home. Let that be clear, so no room to go out. You don't charge to come home, you just bring him come home. About 2 months ago, my mother made that transition. Went by, stand with her remains yesterday in Greenville, South Carolina. The good news is she was not there. Nothing remains. The grand woman is there. The woman who birthed me is not there. The woman who loved me and cooked for me and chastised me is not there. Mama is not in that grave. Mama is gone on before. But I went by to pay my respects to her remains. And then we had a meeting in Greenville on voter registration. And on to Gaffney. We've been to Rock Hill, then to Sumter, and now to Florence. We've been to Orangeburg, to Columbia, Hartsville, going around the state trying to build a coalition for massive voter registration turnout. I've asked Reverend Dr. Attorney James Felton to be our state coordinator. Amen. He's such a serious voter registrar. Lest we forget, in 1963, when John Kennedy was killed, only one African American was in the program. We had no black caucus at that time. There were no black elected officials in the South, a single Southern legislature at that time. We couldn't use public facilities at that time. And our hearts bled because Kennedy had been killed and had so much promise. One African American who was in that vision from Sumter, South Carolina. The guy who led the honor guard, the man who received Kennedy's body at the air base. He watched the autopsy. The most involved person in that whole parade, in that event, was James Felder. James, please stand. Don't take his contribution for granted. He was our hero. He was our source of presence. It's a joy likewise to be in the presence of Reverend Dr. Kennedy. He's done so much over such a long period of time, a profound pastor, preacher. I'm head of Progressive National Baptist Convention, a businessman, a freedom fighter, former legislator, and now the school board. The fountain that keeps on giving. I thank him for our friendship and for his guidance and counsel and for all he means to us. It does not yet appear what he shall be to us. I've asked him to be our state chair for the building of the statewide Rainbow Push infrastructure. Because we're separated by many plantations. Those in Gap-on-Over, those in Greenville are doing. The day those in Spartanburg, the day those in Rock Hill, those in Greenwood or Georgetown or Florence and the like. We must have the capacity to convene our families. God said to Noah, tell the people there's going to be a flood. Yet he talked to a leader. The people that he was crying out to ignored him so much, he became an alcoholic out of frustration. Those who loved the most rejected him. And he told Noah to build an ark. It was going to rain 40 days and 40 nights. He did not say teach swimming lessons. Some people think they can make it because they have a job or have a degree of some measure of success. You may have all of that, but you can't swim 40 days and nights without stopping. You have to build an infrastructure. You want to have the capacity to have a phone conversation from Rock Hill, Charleston, to Greenville, to Greenwood, to Newberry, to 96, be able to convene a family meeting. He is a great convener, and he's worthy of our trust. Another big hand for Reverend Ralph Candy. Sacredness we must not lose to frivolity. Most of us celebrate the New Year's Eve in church as an expression of our piety, that we love the Lord and we come to church on New Year's Eve. We spent the last year going out, New Year coming in. Next day, ham hocks and black-eyed peas and the ball game. That is not the source of the season. After 242 years in slavery, unlike any other people, we did not come here as immigrants, looking for a better way of life. We did not come here as refugees running from anything. Brought here and sold us commodities on the commodity exchange. For 242 years, we were more valuable as workers than any product. Even in cotton itself, we made cotton cane. Cane cotton did not make us anything, including wages. For these 242 years, we had no right to get married. We could not give our children our names. Look at our skin colors. We were raped without ever a charge of a rapist. We didn't come here with these hues of skin color. These are the result of illicit relationships. Because we have in our bodies the blood of the rape and the rapist. We come here, in some sense, a new people. And the only people that required the constitutional challenge of being called 3/5 of a human being. No one else is known with 3/5 human designation in the Constitution. No one else required an Emancipation Proclamation proclaiming their humanity. We come from that lineage of struggle. And Lincoln, in the middle of that Civil War, where South Carolina was the first state to secede from the Union, to maintain slavery, to maintain its independence from democracy. Where the first shot was fired at Fort Sumter, South Carolina, for that war. In the midst of all of that, Lincoln said on September 22nd, after the Battle of Antietam, that I'll proclaim emancipation on 1st of January. And it seems to me, Reverend, that every March night, we should read for the people while we're there. Amen. It's not just another regular biblical night, but this is not just for the church people. This goes for all people. I'll read just a little bit of it, because this is a big thing for us as people. Whereas on the 22nd day of September, 1862, a proclamation was issued by the President of the United States containing, among other things, the following. Repeat that on the first day of January 1863, all persons held as slaves within any state, a designated part of the state, the people thereof shall then be rebellion against the United States, shall be then henceforth forever free. And the executive government of the United States, including the military, and naval authority thereof, will recognize and maintain the freedom of such persons. And will do no act or acts repress such persons or any of them in any efforts they may make for their actual freedom. That's one piece of the paragraph. It goes on to say, saying, I hereby enjoin upon the people so declared to be free, to abstain from all violence, unless in necessary self-defense. And I recommend to them that in all cases when allowed, they labor faithfully for reasonable wages. And I further declare and make known that such persons in suitable conditions to receive to the armed service of the United States, garrison forts, positions, stations, and other places, demand vessels of all sorts in said service. Lincoln proclaimed freedom to enough of us to join the Union Army. To save the Union and to end slavery. The South, led by South Carolina, sought to ally with Britain and France and become another country. South Carolina convened 4 southern states in Alabama and from the Confederate States of America under their own flag, Confederate flag, their own currency, their own money, their own constitution, and engaged in an act of treason against the United States of America. We, the people, joined the Union Army to save the country because they were winning and to end slavery. It seems to me that we cannot go any further without learning this. think that in every church vestibule ought to be a copy of the Emancipation Proclamation. I'm thinking every household. And so in every frat, in every sorority. Can you imagine that after 242 years of 3/5 human status, with no right, whites were bound to respect, with men to be beaten, children worked, women raped, and there was no recourse in the courts? Without, no one was ever buried in a casket. They threw them in the ground and threw dirt on them. Can you imagine after 242 years, when the Supreme Court had ruled that blacks had no right, whites were bound to respect, that 5 years later, this man made this Emancipation Proclamation. And he said, if I could save the Union and keep them enslaved, I would do that. If I could send them back to Africa, I would do that. But if freeing them means saving the Union, I would do that. We were the beneficiaries of the option of saving the Union and ending slavery. And so, they didn't look forward to Santa Claus at Christmas time. Christmas time was the birth of Jesus. It was Christ's Mass, not Santa Mass. It was looking forward to a child born who promised to be an emancipator, a deliverer, a messenger, a redeemer, the promise of God. And that child was not born in a sweet little perfumed manger. He was born on the run and went to Egypt as a refugee. And so it's hard for some politicians who beat to worship Jesus on Sunday morning and lock out refugees on Monday. Jesus was a refugee and went to Egypt as a refugee and immigrant. And I have one witness here. They accepted the fact that this baby would be born under these conditions and rise up from that stable to become King of Kings. So they followed the light of the Mass of Christ as his birthday. The big deal for them was January the 1st. Watch night was they watched and they prayed and they sang all night long. They hoped that Lincoln would not change his mind. They couldn't demonstrate in logic. They couldn't vote. They couldn't protest. They watched and sang and prayed all night. I prayed and I prayed. I sang and I sang. All night long. This ain't no short season. This is 242 years. This is unique to our experience in this country. And next morning when it was recorded that Lincoln's hand trembled as he signed this document, we began to hit the street shouting. So this night was watching for God to deliver us from slavery. When the Jews had lived from slavery, they call it the heavens. They've had 5,000 slaves every year, once a year, they have a meeting at the house. They eat bitter bread, remind them the good experience of slavery, and they thank God above all else, above money, politics, and fun, to thank God for delivering them from slavery. If y'all don't mind me, take a little time. Most of us in my age group are Dodger fans because of Jack Robinson. And each year we'd have Jack Robinson and Camp at the Landon Loop, and somehow the Yankees would win. Had an all-white team. Finally, we could beat them in '56 because we had Koufax and Drysdale. And on the big deal, if Koufax won the first game and died Drysdale the next, they may or may not win the third one. Then they came back, and then Koufax had another pitcher. There was no NBA at that time, as we know. There was no NFL at that time. There was Major League Baseball. That was the game of the time, right about that? He said, I can't pitch because it's our religious holiday. We celebrate that day for God delivering us from slavery. I love baseball, but I could not put baseball above my chief joy. Say, God delivering us from slavery is our chief joy. Now, I cried when Barack Obama was elected. Remember, I watched Dr. King give his address in Washington. I stood there when he was shot. I remember these big moments. I rejoiced bringing Americans home. This day, 1984, brought Goodman home from Syria. This day, 1984. But my chief joy is the gladness of our people coming out of slavery. So everything else flows from emancipation. This is not the day of greens and hammocks and ball games. It's the day of rejoicing. Our children must know this, and their parents must know this. Elected officials should pass resolutions on this day. The gladness day of our lives. Now, it may not mean much to you, but it ought to.